Children. They're the joy of all families. This time in life is so precious. Sometimes you wish they'd never grow up. They're so cute and adorable. Mums don't mind the continual care and attention they demand because they love them. There are some children who don't ever grow up. They remain children forever, at least mentally. Their mothers will have to bear the burden of their special children for the rest of their lives. Who will look after them when they no longer can? These are the mentally retarded who will always have to receive the care and attention that normal toddlers and babies need.
What we all need handling these children, of course, is infinite patience. This is one of the prime prerequisites in handling these children. At all times.
Through the desperation of this child's parents and others like them, the Mentally Incurable Children's Association was formed in 1954. Parents were faced with the fact that the only placement for their child was the then Claremont Asylum. The founding president of the association, Mr. Bill Burns, explains.
I went and saw Claremont, and I wasn't a bit happy about it at all. So this made us go for a home that we wanted to give the parents and the other children in the home some way of living a natural life, to give them a break whenever the mother felt like it.
But to run an organisation like this meant money.
In the first instance, the men on the committee, of course, approached the government channels, but the ladies, auxiliary, the mothers, decided to get together and help themselves. They felt that it was something they felt they should do for their child. It was not going to be put back to everybody else to look after the child. So we run stalls and fetes and this sort of thing, all from our own resources really. And in the first 2 years we had raised £6,000. Jane Marshall's radio session decided that they would band a group of country people together with the object of forming a social club that would give people in the country something to do with their lives and have some outside interest. And each country town formed a committee and they raised funds for Nelson Haven.
In 1965, Nelson Haven moved to the stately old home of Wedderburn. Through the undaunted efforts of the various fundraising committees and continuing support of the public, major extensions were undertaken, providing a new administration block, additional play areas, and modern bedroom wings. These facilities greatly reduced the staff workload and provided better accommodation for the 40 children. Nelson Haven is ideally situated for regular outdoor activities. The nearby residents have readily accepted the children, and the offer of a cool drink from an obliging service station manager is typical of the changing public attitude. Like all children, they enjoy an outing, but constant care and supervision is of the utmost importance. With their varied handicaps, and in most cases a complete lack of fear, it takes a special kind of person to care for and understand these children. Small pleasures like a walk to the river or a visit to the zoo become a major undertaking of organisation for the staff. Each member of the staff, from the sisters and nurses to the cleaners, is happy to lend a hand on these special outings. Most of the staff have a special child who they care and worry about, just like one of their own. And with such a happy bunch of children, the staff find job satisfaction guaranteed.
Well, as you can see, we have a very dedicated staff here. Normally, we try to get people who have already had a family of their own, so that they know the stages that these kiddies go through, or the next stage that one would hope that the children would get to. We put a lot of time and effort into making the place as much like a home as we possibly can and not like a hospital. Obviously we've got to do things routinely with these children, this type of child, and they're on programs, once again orientated to more play and this type of things they possibly can. We find that overall everybody is somebody's favourite. All of the children get special attention from one or other member of the staff. All the children obviously are very well cared for by all of the girls, but we all seem to have a particular favourite, so that everybody gets a special love and care from somebody.
Stephen had normal progress until 11 months when he contracted encephalitis, diagnosed as post-encephalitis mental retardation. In 1961, Stephen could sit and crawl, and in 1962 walked with difficulty.
Stephen is one of our mobile boys who is one of our more capable children. He's able to walk, to partly feed himself, and he takes great interest in things. He's a real little show-off. He loves to be able to do things right, and he is very, very cooperative in trying to please, and he loves to please. So we are now trying to get Stephen to be able to manipulate things, smaller things with his finger, to be able to look into his eyes as he's being instructed. Finer movements are what we're aiming for now, rather than the gross movements. So he is now able to pick up smaller beads and thread them.
Sue Ellen is a happy child who can clap hands and has a beautiful smile. Her early development was normal. She sat at 6 months and started to say single words by 12 months. At 20 months, the doctors diagnosed neuroaxonal dystrophy.
We use the ball daily for these children, especially with little Sue Ellen Tippett, because it does help with the circulation and with her lung condition. She's very prone to bronchitis. This helps all round. It helps with postural drainage and with the circulation, plus it stimulates as well, and she loves the music and the sounds of her little doll and the staff singing. She loves this sort of thing, and it's part of her program as well.
Richard Kelly came to Nolsonhaven at the age of 4, after having had meningitis at 8 months, followed by regression of development. Since coming here, we've concentrated on the walking and self-feeding areas. In May 1977, Richard commenced at Hove Daycare Centre until January 1978, when he was transferred to Inglewood Day Activity Centre. Mr. and Mrs. Kelly are grateful for the facilities of Nolsonhaven.
Well, it's meant a home for Richard, a place for him in this world. Everybody must have their own place. And he's too difficult to keep at home, especially as he's got bigger. He's dangerous in the house. Fires, heaters, anything that's dangerous to touch, he'll touch. And I think Nolsonhaven is his home.
Unfortunately, the stigma of mental retardation still upsets many people who come in close contact with the parents of these children.
They're very embarrassed, really. They sort of don't know what to say. They find it difficult, they find something comforting to say. And it's worse for them than it is for me now.
The programs for these children are never complete. Every child is kept under constant observation to keep detailed information about the progress of their specific program. As the child progresses, slowly by normal children's standards, but to the trained eye so fast for these children, new programs are instigated to help stimulate the growth of each child's capabilities, no matter how small. Such simple tasks as folding a towel or the use of scissors are milestones for these children. And yet they are happy to please these people who choose to love and understand the mentally retarded. They are willing to learn as much as they are capable of learning, and all brought about through infinite patience, from the staff, from their parents, and most of all, from you, the public, who've learned to accept that the quality of life is not the same for everyone. These children have no choice, so it is up to us to give them that quality in life which we would choose for ourselves.
It is not often realised that Nelson Haven is the only organisation outside of the government which provides a home care situation for the profoundly retarded in Western Australia. The plans of the association for the future include the provision of a day activity centre where children of those parents who still care for them at home can be cared for on a day-to-day basis to provide some relief for the parent, and also to provide a parent training program where the parent can be trained to better cope with their child in the home situation. As with most charitable organisations, the obtaining of finance is a continuing problem. And in order to continue the work that we do at Nelson Haven, we must raise in the vicinity of $250,000 each year. And this is why we need the continuing support of the business community and the public.